I think it's true to say that, a lot of times structure and lineage is emphasized. And that's okay. Over the years, I've really come to recognize that by far the most important thing is my experience. Rudy didn't really care much about lineage. He was just himself, here and now. In the early days, he had a lot of emphasis on work, making an effort. And that was, I think, based on his own history. He had lots of difficulties in his upbringing and during the Depression in New York, single mother, etc. But halfway through the time that I knew him, I was with him for 3.5 years until he passed away. And in that time, he changed really, 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 really significantly. And it was, a wonder to behold. I mean, he ended up, one of the last things I remember him saying was this thing of, I just want to sit on a park bench and watch children play. I thought that was so beautiful, it was just being. And the emphasis on the inner struggle and the inner hard, pushy work was over. And, there have been times in my life when that has been a significant aspect of the practice and the experience. But what I've come to realize more and more and more over time and appreciate is that it's simpler than that. It's not about achieving anything. It's about being fully here and now. And yes, you have a wish to grow, you go in there and you ask, but it's more of allowing that to open than doing anything else. You don't push the energy, you don't try to have some kind of impact on the energy. You're just trying to open to the energy. The energy is already all-powerful, doesn't need any more pushing. In fact, any kind of pushing becomes very easily a block. And you notice, I hope, in your own practice that if you push too much at a certain point, then it stops you from integrating, it stops you from really simply opening and feeling the presence of this energy. This energy knows where to go. It wants to move up the spine naturally, and it wants to collect at the top of the head. But it doesn't want to drive us crazy with the pushing and burning in the crown. So, at least in my experience, that's been a very significant shift over so and so many years. Over time, it went from this very intense pushing in the early days to a gradual focus on inviting and opening. This is not about power. It's very easy to misunderstand that this practice that we're doing is about power. It is not. Power will just shift us into some kind of focus on getting something, being somebody. And Rudy also said very clearly, I am nobody. It's just so wonderful. And, at the end of a sitting and at the end of your everyday experience in life, feel yourself connected to the earth. Feel the grounding, feel the gratitude for having a body, and just allow it to be. It's opening to that grounding. And it doesn't mean you don't have out-of-body experiences and all kinds of things happen, but it's happening in a grounded, simple state where you integrate the process. So when you use this wish to grow, it's very easy to misunderstand that. It really is more effective if we just open into this wish to grow rather than making any kind of big, strong effort. So I'm very grateful to share these Tuesday nights with you, and moving it more and more, I think, into a place of sharing, It's a sharing. There's nothing much to teach, it's very simple. It is so simple. But the brain, our mind, has a way of making it more complicated than it is.